Let's welcome in our CBS Sports baseball insider, Jim Bowden. Jim, Dana Brown saying that there's no timetable for how long Altuve could be out. But, I mean, based on the injury, based on what we're hearing, I mean, what's your take on where he could be after this diagnosis?
Yeah, so, Jeremy, really it depends upon when the actual surgery takes place. Now, they've looked at it, it is so swollen that they're not going to be able to operate for several days. So, what does that mean? Does it mean Friday? Does it mean Saturday? You just got to wait till the swelling goes down. Once they do the operation, the normal healing time for a broken thumb like this is 4 to 6 weeks to heal. Now, because it's a thumb, you can't do any swinging off the bat, with the bat until after the 4 to 6 weeks is up. Jose Altube is the kind of hitter where he wouldn't need a lot of time to rev up, but he would at least need 2 to 3 weeks after that. So it really depends on how quickly he heals. I mean, I would say the realistic timetable is 8 to 10 weeks before he's back playing for the Houston Astros. He won't be playing in April. He won't be playing the beginning of May. So end of May, early June is probably the best estimation of when he'll be back. Look, I was at the game last night, Jeremy. He knew it was broken as soon as he got hit by that pitch. I mean, he couldn't even move it. The trainers did a really good job of jumping there and securing it immediately and taking him down for x-rays right there at Lone Depot Park. But for the Houston Astros, not the way, obviously, they want to start their season without their team leader, not just the best hitter on the team, but their team leader in Altuve.
Yeah, Jim, I mean, I guess the saving grace is the injury happens now and not in August or September. But, I mean, what does losing him for the first 2.5 months of the season mean for the defending World Series champions?
Well, I mean, look, the games are, as you know, are just as important in April as they are in September when you're trying to win a division. They're in a division with Seattle is much improved. The Angels got better. The Rangers got better. So this is a blow. And remember, Houston's also been dealing with one of their other best hitters. Jordan Alvarez has had a hand injury. So, he hasn't been able to participate too much this spring either. So it's definitely a blow. Now, do they have enough to overcome this? Sure they do. When you have Alex Bregman and Julio and Kyle Tucker and Jose Abreu, they've got enough. But, this is a guy that's won batting titles, Silver Slugger Awards, MVPs. I mean, this is the face of their franchise. The one thing I love about Jose, and he made it very clear today, he's going to be with the team. As he said, I'm going to be in that dugout, and I'm going to be rooting for them. A lot of players would just go on the IL and do their rehab and go home. But Altuve, being the leader that he is, plans on being in the dugout rooting for his teammates, and that shouldn't be a surprise to any of us.
As you said, Jim, he's one of the guys who's kind of the heartbeat of this franchise. So do they do anything? Do they go with what they have, or do they look at bringing someone in?
No, they'll just stay in-house. I don't see them making a trade. This team is too good, it's too deep, and they're going to count on him being back. It's just going to be a blow for the first, 8 weeks of the season, 10 weeks of the season. It's going to be tough. They're going to miss him, there's no doubt. But Houston, as we've all seen, the defending world champions, they've got enough. They've got enough depth from the top of the lineup to the bottom of the lineup. They'll be able to overcome it. The key is going to be to just make sure they can play around 500 or above while he's out, and hope that a team like Seattle doesn't take off early in the season.
This is the second major injury to come from the World Baseball Classic. Mets closer Edwin Diaz is going to miss the season after he suffered that patella tear last week. Are teams just holding their breath at this point that they don't see any more major injuries? And I mean, what does it mean for this event moving forward possibly, Jim?
I mean, Jeremy, I can tell you when I was a GM, I was petrified when my players were in the WBC because you can't control it, right? And so you just kind of hope and pray that they stay healthy. But, let's all be realistic. If the players stay in spring training, they get hurt in spring training too. I don't know what the difference is if you're playing spring training games or playing World Baseball Classic games. I really think the injury risk is something that every player has to deal with. It's a major part of baseball. So, look, I think the World Baseball Classic has been a huge success. I mean, being at Marlins Park, or Lone Depot Park, I guess we call it now, the last 2 nights, sold out every night. It's loud. People are screaming. It's good for baseball. When you talk to the players like JT Realmuto or Mike Trout or Paul Goldschmidt or Mookie Betts, all of them tell me that they're surprised that everyone doesn't want to play in the Classic. As they explained to me, they said, why would you want to play a spring training game when you could play a meaningful game like this for your country? And so really, even though the injuries have happened, there really aren't any players that are blaming it on the World Baseball Classic. Rather, let's just blame it on baseball.
He is CBS Sports baseball insider Jim Bowden discussing second baseman Jose Altube, who is set to miss the start of the regular season with a broken thumb. Thanks very much for hopping on with us, Jim. Much appreciated.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.